look at all this stuff. This isn't really my style. I usually don't do like unboxings or stuff like that, or mail openings. But I recently had a birthday, and the quad budget or RC budget was raised for that period of time, so I went crazy and spent all I could. Not all these things that I spend my own money on, but it's kind of overwhelming. But let's go through a couple of these things. Alright, everything you see here I bought from Rotor Geeks, and like most quad companies or RC companies, they sent me a nice little sticker. Find a place to stick that proudly. We've got a bunch of DalProps, 30 by 45, some 3-inch props. Maybe that's a clue as to what's coming up, huh? How many sets did I get? 6? It might not be enough with me behind the wheel. Okay. Spektrum Satellite. I use that pretty much all the time whenever I can because I have used my Devo. Works fine. Got some more little bees. I've been sticking with those. That way I only have one ESC kind to replace. Let's see. These are DYS 1306 3100 kV. I didn't go for the real high kV. A little bit worried about the noise factor that some have talked about, and I'm just a backyard flyer, so getting speeding tickets in the air isn't my primary goal. But I suspect these will be fun. Ooh, it's smooth. It's way smoother than the RCX motors I have. Now maybe that means the RCX motors have better magnets. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Bangood finally sent me, let me open this, the bits and pieces I need to fix this little guy, the Taro 130, which has been out of commission for, geez, I don't know, a month, because it's got burn marks, and you can see them there. It took some... They tried to send me a number of different flight controllers that aren't compatible. You know, this flight controller has a PDB, everything's all built in. I can't take anything else. It's not either going to mount or it's not going to work. So I hoped they'd send me a new one, but they finally got an original. So through some back and forth, we got that sorted out. So hopefully that will get this flying. I'd like to get that guy going. Seems like he should be fun. Oh, and this came from HeliPal. I ordered it from HeliPal because it was in stock. And this is from Furious FPV. And it is the Piko BLX. This is a flight controller and PDB all in one. And it can go from 2 to 6S. You can do S-Bus, PPM. You can also do the Spektrum satellites. It was sent with an LED, which, look at the size of this LED. It's not big. And there's the USB port to give you some, and then compare it to this thing. I believe, if I remember correctly, this has an F3 flight controller on it. See if I can get enough light on that to where you can read it. I'll put links to all the bits and pieces where I got them if you want to investigate them yourself. This is going to be for my next build, and let's get to what that build might be. Might not be my next one, but it's coming up. This, I'm pretty pumped about. This is the Carbon Q from Quatrovallante. I believe that's Italian because it's shipped from Italy. Got here pretty quickly. These are all 3D printed parts. We've got a skirt. We've got a canopy. There's 2 different canopies that were sent in this kit. You've got this one here, which has got greater angle you can give for your camera. It's open more there. And this one is a much more modest angle. So I'm wondering if these 3D printed parts are going to stand up too much, or if those are going to be breaking a lot. This is actually separate. It's not for this build, but let's go through everything that we get. Motor protectors, looks like they're 3D printed as well. Match the green. You can select the different colors. Well, I got some of that Furious FPV on there. Pick that off. RCX Hobby strap. Not sure what that part's for. Comes with a PDB. Shouldn't need that because I'm going to be using this. And I special ordered this. Well, it's not. It's an option you can select to. Yeah. So this would mount right in there. So I am going to use this inside of what looks like room for a buzzer. Maybe it is. Anyways, I'm taking too long on that. Sorry. Let's get to the frame. This is the basic layout and design of the frame. And you can see where the skirt goes. And the top should have a pretty slick profile. See, we run our ESC wires right through there. Gonna be a tight build, but challenge accepted. A little curious about the battery strap. We must run underneath right here. So battery definitely underneath. I like that, how it has carbon Q printed right on it and it's raised. Kind of feels cool. Anyways, okay. So that kit, and this is for the SciSky or Piko flight controllers. Because I was ordering the carbon Q, I went ahead and got one of these. And SciSkys are supposed to fit right down inside of here so that you can flat mount them on just about any surface. You know how they have little bits and pieces on the bottom that keep it from being able to really mount flat. And these are only like $2.50, but of course shipping, you know, it's not really worth ordering something for $2.50 if you have to pay $5, or I think it's $10 flat shipping off of their site. So I bought that, and I think I'll be using that in an upcoming SciSky build or repair. If you watched my 8mm brushed motor shootout, I was going to do a follow-up video on that, but unfortunately I had a problem when I was deciding to do a motor break-in and then do a retest, and it was also encouraged to test my scale to make sure it measured positive and negative weight the same. So I was doing the motor break-in. I was doing it very low throttle for 5 minutes. I got to my last set of motors to do the break-in on, and one burned up. It actually got so hot during that 5 minutes, and I was actually doing 2 5-minute rounds. It got so hot, it melted part of the polycarbonate motor mount. If you're familiar with picnic quads, they have polycarbonate frames. It's pretty much all I use on my SciSkys anymore, or SciSkys. But so that one motor mount now is super loose, and that motor's dead. It was still running at the time I shut it down, but after shutting it down, it just won't come back to life. And unfortunately, it was the Micromotor warehouse motor that burned up. Now, I'm not saying that that's typical, but that's the reason why there won't be a follow-up video, because it wouldn't be fair. I only have 3 Micromotor warehouse motors. I also got some HQProps. I've been flying these that came with, the Taros come with these, and I also bought some from RCX, and not from RCX, from RC Mart. But I break them pretty regularly, so I wanted to try some different props. These are the same, I think they're written on here, yeah, 3x2. And they say HQ right on them. These are substantially beefier. You compare the hubs on these, there's not even really a comparison. It's almost double the size on the hub, and then the prop itself. This should give us a lot more thrust, but also might give us a lot more stress on the motor. And I'm going to need to go dig through my M3 screws and see if I can find something longer. So I'll be giving those a run. I bought, I think, 8 sets of those because I've been breaking these left and right. Doesn't take much. They do break easy. I think Bruce mentioned that in his video of the Terra 130, that to buy loads of the props because they break easily. Oh, yes, this is an interesting kit. This is the Dubai Race Edition. It's a 210 frame. Kind of see it under there. I'll get it out. This was sent to me by GearBest. UAV Futures already did a build video on this. Still can't see the frame, can you? Well, trust me, it's a 210, it's an X, it's a clone. Probably its biggest selling point is the price. I think it's around 140 bucks, and it has an F3 racing speed controller in it. And they also send it with Emax red bottom motors, 2205s. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to fly this in the backyard, but I will sure try. Those are pretty. See what you will, but man, some of these companies, when they get something they really like, they really protect it. So I'll be working on that build as well. They did send some props, not nearly enough for me. And OC Day 20 amp ESCs. I suspect that those are just some rebranding of others. What else? Oh! Here's a package. This feels like almost like Christmas. You wait and wait, you kind of forget you ordered stuff, and then all of a sudden it shows up. Okay, let's dig all this stuff out. I know you can't hardly see this stuff. Walkera LadyBird props, I believe. Yeah. Gonna try some of those out. Yeah, it says right there, LadyBird. So what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of those. Bought some more Aomway antennas. These are my antennas of choice. They work great. And they're not very expensive. Ooh, let's save that for just some cable leads. Always like to have these around, especially for smaller builds. I'll cut off the end, solder it to the VTX, and then I've got a right angle I can stick out the back end. Or if I want it to just come out the back end of the quad, I'll chop the right angle in, solder that on. And then you have to use an adapter down here, but just like to keep a couple of those around. I seem to have misplaced. Oh yeah. Oh, 5 sets of those LadyBird props. I've forgotten about this. You might have seen this, FX798T. Look how that's handwritten on it. Isn't that funny? This is basically the Quantum Elite camera with a design change. Whoa, and it is buried down in there. Or maybe. So the biggest change, everything else looks the same. But this isn't a review of that, it's just a quick look. Is this antenna is now flexible. So you know, a lot of times you take the hit from the top and then your mushrooms get all flattened out, and you can actually bend these down if you want. But I think there's more cameras I've got on order, but they're not released yet, like this on the Bangood website. There's one from Ishin where the PDB doesn't stick up above it at all. It's actually soldered down low, and then they've got I believe it's a button, might be 2 buttons, and then an LED readout that has the numbers of the channels and bands that you're on. But this should help, especially because it holds its position. That's interesting. Gives us more mounting options too. We should test this thing to make sure it works. Okay, so, and this is a new tool. So you know, I use this for a lot of my building, and I generally don't struggle to get this thing off, but around the camera. But so that slides in and out. Got different hex heads. This is basically the same thing, have more heads. And I didn't pay entirely a lot of detail when I ordered this. I saw it, I saw the extra heads, and I thought, oh, I need to get one of those. I think it was like $8, so it fits in my $10 budget. But then I read that, yeah, see, this is the same size as this. Well, it's actually a touch longer. So virtually the same design. So these don't fit inside the handle, which kind of stinks, but I guess, you know, what I got it now, right? I kind of thought this would be bigger, and I was fully expecting that too, for it to be bigger so I could get all the heads inside, maybe -1. So, new tool. What else? Yeah, one last thing I got here. You'll recognize this. Whoop. Yeah, it's the Inductrix by Blade, or Horizon Hobby, I guess, otherwise known as the Tiny Whoop. Had to give it a try, and I'll tell you, when I got this out of the box, I was surprised at how small it was. You know, I thought I had small micros. Just a second, let me get one of my small micros. All right, so, well, let's get it out. Is this gonna come out easy? Probably not. No, that was easy enough. I probably won't do a video on this because there's a lot of them out there. But, so there's the Inductrix. This is 120 millimeter. Let me see if I can angle this all up. This is a Picnic Quad frames, 120 millimeters, one of my favorites. So you can see just how much bigger this thing is, or how small the Inductrix is. And this is an 88 millimeter frame. It's an H frame. But this is crazy small and crazy light. But I couldn't resist. This looks like the indoor design of the future, I think. Well, it's been a crazy week of getting packages. Actually, most of them came in over 3 days. So I've got a lot of projects to get to, so it should be a lot of good fun. Hope you guys stay tuned and watch some more videos here when I actually have these projects come full circle. Thanks for watching.